So this is a video that I wanted to do for YouTube about owning senior cats. I'm definitely not a cat expert and not a veterinarian, so if you have any serious questions, please ask your veterinarian about senior cats. But in this video, I just want to give my opinion about owning senior cats. I first want to start off with the facts. So Candy is a 14-year-old dilute calico, and she's a female. And Frisco, oh, Frisco's coming over. Good timing. Frisco is a 15-year-old domestic long-hair black cat, and they are both considered seniors. Health-wise, both of my cats are doing really well. They don't have any long-term issues or diagnosed diseases or anything like that. The two things that my cats have, though, Frisco has arthritis, and it's actually a severe diagnosis by a vet. Guys! Okay, so his diagnosis by a veterinarian is that he has severe arthritis, mostly in his hips, but also around his ribs. And Candy's diagnosis, she doesn't really have a whole lot of arthritis. It's kind of forming around the ribs and hips, but it's not really bad yet, at least. And Candy also has, for her age, she has the typical, I guess you could say, like, rate of functioning kidneys for her age. So she has like this typical senior health of her kidneys. Compared to Frisco, Frisco has really good kidneys. He actually has like the kidneys of an adult cat. For his age, that is really, really good. So a lot of people believe that senior cats don't play, that senior cats just sleep all day and eat. And while that may be true for some cats, don't forget that it's not true for all cats. Candy is like a, I don't know, she's like a self-motivator, but Frisco isn't. Candy's a cat that, you know, she can pick up a mouse toy and start batting it around and run around all over the place with it in its in her mouth and have a lot of fun. Frisco, on the other hand, doesn't really do that. He kind of needs either another cat to initiate play, or he plays with another cat, or he needs his human to initiate play with him. And Frisky right now, I was going to demonstrate how he likes to sleep, but he's actually a little frisky. This is one of the rare moments that Frisk is playful. And it only lasts for like little tiny spurts. Another good aspect of playing with your cat is that it creates a stimulation in their brain, and also, you know, it's in their natural instincts to want to hunt, which is the whole concept of playing. So on top of playing with your cat, I also want to mention that it's really good to stimulate the cat's mind by also trying to get them to learn new tricks. I know it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but it isn't impossible. About a year ago, I bought this Nina Addison dog brick puzzle. Obviously it's meant for dogs, but what happens is you put the treats under the little compartments, and then your cat basically has to learn to lift this out, eat the treat, and then scoot these over, eat the treat. So it's just a way for them to, one, work for their treats, and two, play on their natural hunting instinct, and three, stimulate their mind. And also, still, even though they are seniors, again, they do like to play. Maybe you don't always see it, but, you know, try different kinds of toys. This is a catnip banana. I have a video on both these toys. Actually, I have a video on all these. Separate video on this, and separate video on these things. So catnip filled toys, you know, maybe even a real catnip plant or catnip or cat grass, and you know, different texture toys. This one is, I'm sorry, I think it's actually rabbit fur. Sorry, but you know, different fabrics, different scents, things just to really stimulate their mind and their senses. Another little tidbit I just want to sneak in. Senior cats can also lose their eyesight as they get older. They can occur cataracts, and they can also become blind. As well as their eyes, they can also have issues with smelling and taste. So a lot of people will say that you need to get more potent food, which is food that really smells, to entice your cat to eat. So that brings me to my next point. Cats drinking water. It's really important that senior cats drink water, and that they drink a lot of water, because it is vital to the function of their kidneys. Candy, I noticed, doesn't drink as much water, which is why I bought her a fountain. Frisco, he actually drinks quite a bit of water, which is probably why his kidneys are really good. He used to do this with just like one brand of food or one kind of food, and I actually decided to go ahead and start mixing the foods, because it's hard when you have a senior cat, because they have so many issues that you want to address in the correct food. So if you want to know more about the food that I use, I have a separate video about the dry food and wet food. So a lot of people tout wet food diets or raw diets. Raw diet, if you don't know, is just feeding your cat straight up meat. Skipping the kibble or dry food, and preferably not giving them any wet food. Giving them stuff like raw chicken and steak, and I think people try to like make soup and chicken and rice and vegetables and stuff like that. My cats have never gone on a raw diet. So on the other spectrum, you have an all wet food diet. Now, there's nothing wrong with an all wet food diet. I think it's awesome if you want to give your cat wet food all the time. You can also mix in a little bit of water into the wet food, and that way they get even more water in their food. The only issue with doing an all wet food diet is that you really need to look out for dental issues. So continuing with the food issue, I've also realized that Frisco is a senior cat that falls under the category of weight loss. There's nothing health-wise that's wrong with him to incur a weight loss. He's been to the vet for it. He's been diagnosed as not having anything. And he's just an older cat that will lose weight and not retain fat as well as a younger cat. And then Candy, on the other hand, I've noticed that she's the opposite end of the spectrum, and she's the kind of senior cat that will gain weight. And it's been really hard to deal with two senior cats that are at the opposite ends, you know, one that needs to gain weight and one that needs to lose weight.
Frisco started off in adulthood around 14 pounds. He wasn't fat, he's just a larger cat. And Candy was around like 9 pounds. Now Candy's about 9.5, and Frisco's about 11.
I just want to talk about my experience with dental for cats. I have grown up with multiple cats, and now Candy and Frisco are the two cats that I am living with. And our cats have never gone in for dentals until about a year ago. I realized Candy had really bad breath. Like, bad. It just always was gross. I hated when she meowed in my face. It was just bad. And then I read up on it, and because I tried brushing products, but she absolutely hates me touching her mouth. So dental cleanings run around, they can run anywhere from like 150 to like 400, or depending on like the amount of extraction, you know, even higher. So I was looking for a second opinion from another vet, and they actually told me, well, we're grading her teeth at a 2. And I was like, well, the other vet graded her teeth at 4. And he's like, well, based on what I see, I don't think these 2 teeth need to come out. So I was so thankful. She went in for a cleaning. Her breath is a lot better. She doesn't have stinky cat breath anymore. And she got a dental cleaning, so I feel really good about it. If you don't get dental cleanings, it's not the end of the world. But if your cat stops eating, or if they look like they're in pain, remember, cats hide their pain really well, so just make sure you keep a sharp eye on your cat. And dental disease can also lead to issues within the cat's body. It can be really dangerous. Cats can die from infections and whatnot. Dental disease can affect the kidney, the heart, the liver, and other functioning parts of their body. Your cat may not want to go up and down the stairs as much, so just make sure that they'll probably hang out where their cat pan and food and water is, so make sure they have like a comfy bed or somewhere nice to sleep around that area that they're usually hanging out. Because they're probably not going to want to like be jumping or do a lot of strenuous exercise like Frisco here. Make sure the food is on the floor, or that it's easy to get to if it's up high. I've heard that there are a lot of cats that will stop using the cat pan because they cannot lift their back legs into the pan, especially if it's a high pan. So most common solution to that is either get an almost flat edge cat pan, or at least in the front it's flat, so that the cat doesn't have to lift their hind legs up and over. Or you can get a ramp that the cat can just easily walk up and into the pan. But then you also incur the problem of like when the cat leaves the pan, that you still have to, the cat still has to lift their back legs to get out of the pan. So it's really important that once you have a senior cat, you need to make sure that they get yearly blood work. If you want to keep your cat healthy and live a long life, you need to catch any signs of disease or illness or anything that leads to an unhealthy cat. You want to catch it early, and a good way to do that is to spend the money. It's a lot of money, but to spend the money on blood work.
Alright guys, so that's about it. If you have any questions or thoughts or ideas or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'm always willing to hear how people have caught and around problems with their senior cats or whatnot, or found products that really help with their senior cats. So let me know below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And thank you to those who have subscribed. I really appreciate it, and so to Frisco and Candy.